should get started.
Okay.
6:01.
You just for the Hanukkah. Isn't it Thursday?
No. Appalachian music is all pentatonic.
We gotta be
And
straight. We gotta straight on what day it is.
Think about it.
Yeah, because
That's tomorrow.
it's basically 1, 4, 5. Maybe you have 2 sometimes.
Test,
Mine,
test.
yeah, mine are pentatonic. Yeah.
Test.
Oh, you
Is that
must.
on?
Oh, you must be.
Yeah, okay. Better.
Yep.
I'd be scared. I'm scared.
Put that theory degree to use. Yeah. Hoping the bodies warm it up. I'm hoping people
I'll be the
being
backup.
in here warm up the space.
Something's wrong with this. Oh no.
Oh no. That thing.
Yeah. My wife does.
You don't have a regular. You don't have a regular one, right?
No, I have only Shub brand capos.
That could be a problem.
It doesn't work.
It's the same cape. My cape is the same cape.
It's complicated. She's an executive assistant, so she's not like a
Let me try it. This might work.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah.
No.
Where's your
What?
This one doesn't work.
Same as that cape, but you can try.
Okay, just add a tune. It's we just have to. Sorry.
I thought you just took one a minute ago. Oh, okay. Let me go find it.
It's great. I had a nursing home gig. Earlier today where I was playing cello, so I get it.
If it doesn't work, we're going to do it a whole key lower.
Michelle, do you think I have like 2 seconds to run in the bathroom? Run.
Yeah.
You know you don't want to.
You know what? I'll take your guitar.
All right.
For Sean Malika?
Yeah, it's not working.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
You're skipping.
I'm not.
I'm now going to do something with the guitar.
I can actually, if you'd like to plug it in. Go ahead.
Okay. Musical triage. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch. Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchu Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seizchem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sing together, night, night. Yai, da, 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 da. Hi, da, 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 da. Hi, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 ya, ya. I want to hear your voices. Ya, 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 da, da. Hi, da, 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 da. Hi, da, 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 da. Ya, da, 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 da. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom to people in the room, to people on Zoom. So good to have people here on this dark winter night. Hanukkah is really an extraordinary holiday because even though we're surrounded by darkness at this time of the month, at this time of the year, we dare night after night to light a candle and to add a candle and to go against what the world is telling us it is. And we keep insisting on light and more light and more light. So tonight, let's use our voices as if they were flames and create the flames of the holiday of Hanukkah and really light up this room and light up our hearts. Amen. And I'm so thrilled to have my friend Chazan Bas Schechter here, along with Rabbi Dr. Shaul Magid, and an extraordinary group of musicians behind them, and you'll meet them later.
And we're about to do Yedid Nefesh, and we have a special Shabbos where it's the Shabbos candles and also the Hanukkah candles. And the Shabbos candles are really about the inner sanctum of the Shalom Bayis, the peace inside the home. And the Hanukkah candles are the kind of candles that we put inside our windows, and we celebrate intimacy, but intimacy that inspires others. So we share that light with other people, and we take a triumph of eternal wisdom over finite wisdom. That's what Hanukkah is about. And Shabbat has both inner peace and outer powers. So we have that light-bearing intimacy, that big power of light-bearing intimacy that makes us go beyond the self when we sing this beautiful poem of Yedid Nefesh on page 8. Now, a lot of you are not going to know most of the melodies that we do. We might put like a little coda of another melody at the end so that you could like sing along, but a lot of these you're going to have to learn it on the way because it's something called Kabbalat Shabbat. So Kabbalat Shabbat means Appalachian old-time Shabbat music. So it doesn't really exist except for now it does. And here we go. This is called Yedid Nefesh. to sing a song that we all sing together. Igale, gale, gale, ufros, ufros, habibi So we sing a new old song. At Shiru Ladonai Sher Chadash, Psalm 96 on page 12. Where does this all come from? For those who don't know, there's a little island off Long Island called Fire Island. And that Fire Island did not have a Kabbalat Shabbat when I first arrived there around 12 years ago. So Shaul came by, he was the rabbi, and he came by with his, he still is the rabbi. He was, is, and will be the rabbi. I'm just, sometimes grammar is not my thing. Grammar is not my thing. So this is just a disclaimer around the grammar thing. And he came over and he said, well, let's work out a Kabbalat Shabbat. And he just had started playing banjo recently, and at the time, recently, again, the grammar. And he started playing these old-time songs on the banjo, and I was like, oh, these are really cool. And I just started singing Kabbalat Shabbat on top of these old-time banjo songs. And year after year, we would just start building an Appalachian old-time Kabbalat Shabbat that just kept growing and growing. And then if these melodies and this banjo and these songs started to become the matbeya, the nusach of Fire Island Synagogue. So for those who don't know, that's how it all happened. And so sometimes melodies are little miracles. When I think of Hanukkah, I think melodies are teeny little miracles that come out of nowhere. And so there are miracles that are new melodies, and there are miracles that are just old melodies, but that get transformed into a million different representations and different formations and different ways of singing them. And this is a new old melody of Shiru Ladonai Sher Chadash, and we're only going to sing the first few lines, so please sing along. And you feel like you don't catch it, don't worry about it, you'll catch it. It's super easy, and the energy of everybody singing something you barely know is something very special. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Baruch Shemo, Ba'azu B'yom Le'yom Yeshuato, Saperu V'Goyim Kevo Gadol Adonai U'Olam Me'od Norahu Akol Elohim. Night, night. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz Shiru Adonai Baruch Hu Shemo Va'asu Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Die, 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 die. Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Va'asu Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz. Take a deep breath. We're celebrating the majesty of nature, human nature, nature outside, nature inside, the divine majesty and the beauty of creation and the power of Mizmor LeDavid on page 20.
Please
On
rise.
Hanukkah, please rise. On Hanukkah, we celebrate the way nature is manipulated and the changing of nature.
Please rise as you are able.
Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai B'nei. That's Gabby on the violin. So we are at a beautiful prayer called Anu B'Koch. You may be seated. This is a 42-letter name of God. And I'm reminded of this incredible moment in Parshat Miketz, where Yosef names his child Menashe. Menashe is a miracle in his life because he names him, for God has made me forget, Nashani, all my hardships of my father's house. If anybody has watched the movie The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where the memory of a traumatic love affair gets wiped out and you don't have to live in the trail and the pain of the past. So Yosef had so many hardships, but the one incredible miracle is that he didn't have to deal with the pain. He didn't actually experience the pain of his childhood. That's why he named his child Menashe. So in this prayer that we are about to pray, Anu B'Koch, we are praying for the strength of a little forgetting and using what we remember to bring us strength to release. And the power of the naming transforms pain into gratitude. The act of naming something that is causing us pain and flipping it ever so slightly into a thank you, into a transformation, is the power of this prayer. So we are uniting the bonds of limitation and suffering and redeeming through difficulty and transforming our trials into blessings. And that is the power of Anu B'Koch, which we are going to sing now on page 22. And for this one, I just invite you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to find that place, that one little piece of suffering that you feel like, wow, this one is a blessing. This one I can transform. And then you can think of another one and say, this one I can forget. Gedulat yemelcha tatir tzirura kabel rina samcha zagvenu tarenu nora. Gedulat yemelcha tatir tzirura kabel rina damcha zagvenu tarenu nora. Baruch shekevo malchuto leolam va'ed.
Our ancestors teach that each of our souls is a candle of the divine. A meditation, a visualization for Hanukkah based on that teaching. So if you're willing, make yourself comfortable, settle into your seats and close your eyes. And think first about any darkness you're aware of at this moment, whether it's without or within. And just recognize it for what it is. It's dark. It might be despair. It might be depression. And now, with the shamash, with the server candle of the menorah, start to light up each of those dark places. One by one, take that candle and see what happens when you bring some light to that very place. What does that feel like in your body? Does anything change? Do any sensations change from the thought of or the imagination of bringing light to that dark place? Keep searching within. Keep lighting up one dark place after another. So it's not that the darkness goes away exactly. It's that light and darkness somehow live side by side. And illumination can bring enlightenment or joy or wisdom, enough so that we're not completely weighed down at these dark times of year. The trick is we have to keep lighting the dark places because they don't go away. So keep bringing light to that fear, that despair, that depression, that disbelief that anything will ever change. Kindling hope and light and love and joy. And now that we are illuminated within, ready to be the brilliant souls that we really are, we are ready to turn towards the bride of Shabbat.
Page 24.
Lecha dodi lekrat kala penei Shabbat dekabela shamor v'zachor בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל העם יוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתהילה אחד דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה יהי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם לסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה ומקצועי מתוך החלקה רב לו שבת בעמק הברכה והוא יחמו עלייך נתנה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה את נערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי על יד בן ישי בית הלכי קורבו אל נפשי כעלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בעורף אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נקרא לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת לא תבושי ולא תקומי מה תשכחי ומה תמי כך יחסו עניי עמי ונמתה עיר עתידה חדודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לא תבושי לבשרתך ורחקו קום בבלייך יעשס עלייך אלוהייך כבשת חתן על קלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה והיו שמיטה שודייך הייתי על ידי של השיא שלום עטרת קלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני הסגולה, בואו נחלת שבת מלכתה, לך דודי לקרא קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לקרא קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, יאי די די די, די 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 די, די 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 די, די 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 די, ay 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 ay, na da da da, ay 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 ay, na da da da, lecha dodi lekra kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
Page 28, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbos, Shabbat. We sing a new song for Shabbos. It's a real prayer challenge and also opportunity to sing melodies you've never sung before, because it requires and it challenges you to sing it in a different way and to find something else inside you that you didn't think you had. You're not singing the same melodies you've sung every week for the last many years, whatever. It's something different and something new, and it's a challenge, and it's also an opportunity. Because you'll be like, wait, something else is coming up for me. Something else, I'm feeling something else. I'm hearing a memory. And maybe it's on the Virginia Trail because it's Appalachia. But it's also something new. So I invite you to struggle with it, to struggle with the discomfort of singing things you've never sung before, and try to sing along even when it feels like it's like, I don't know this. Don't worry about it. Sing it anyways. This is a new song. We sing it, and it's called Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat.
Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Good to sing a song for Shabbat. Good to sing a song for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Good to praise your name, your holy name. Good to raise your name, your holy name. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Good to feel your love from up above. Good to feel your love from up above. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Again. Because you got it. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Good to feel your love from up above. Good to feel your love from up above.
might rebel, because we are doing a different Raza. A different Raza de Shabbat, another secret. The secret of Shabbat has many melodies. And this one is a melody for a very famous song called Pretty Polly. For those of you who don't know, Bela Fleck and Abigail Washburn, they do a beautiful rendition of this, and we were both inspired deeply.
Yes, we're trying to copy them as best we can, but
Inspired copy, you know.
we're not doing a very good job. It's one of these genre of these old-time murder ballads, and we're trying to actually kind of raise some of the sparks from, because it doesn't work out well for Polly. I'll tell you that.
Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Tesachada de Raza de Echad. Lemishrei Allah, Raza de Echad. Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Tetachada beraza de Echad. Lemishrei Allah, Raza de Echad. Tota malei rabata korsaya. Tota malei rabata korsaya. Achada beraza beraza de Echad. Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Raza de Shabbat, I Shabbat. Esachada beraza de Echad. Lemishrei Allah, Raza de Echad. Raza de Echad. Raza de Echad. Raza de Echad. Raza de Raza de Raza. Raza de Raza de Echad.
Again, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Happy Hanukkah.
Shabbat shalom.
So before we hear from new people in the room and we have an opportunity to greet you, just one announcement. You have these sheets. They look like this. And next Shabbat, actually Motzei Shabbat, when Shabbat is getting out, we're having a talk with Rabbi Dr. Jill Hammer about her new book called The Moonstone Covenant. I'll be in conversation with her. We'll have Havdalah, we'll have food. So join us then. It will start at 5:30. So any new people in the room that would like to say hello and tell us where you're from, your name, where you're from, or any people who haven't been here in a long time. And if you're on Zoom, feel free to put your name in the chat so people can welcome you. Can't be.
Over there.
Ah, over there. Where's our runner with the microphone?
Plus, you can try to talk loud.
Yeah, but then people on Zoom can't hear, so I prefer to use the
I'll
microphone.
respond.
Okay. Here it comes.
Say your name meanwhile.
I'm Josh, this is Kaylin and Rebbe and Lula and Neely, where the Claymans were from Wyoming.
Woo! Wyoming.
Basia came and helped to lead services with our dear community in Jackson Hole. Just recently, it's so good to be here in this place. We watch you over the live stream. So good to be here. Good Shabbos.
Nice.
Happy Hanukkah.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbat
Welcome,
shalom,
welcome.
Josh and family.
Right here.
Hello. First of all, thank you for the music. It's so wonderful. And the instruments, and it's quite. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of overwhelmed with everything going on here.
Just say your name and where you're from.
Oh, Karen from West 74th Street. Okay, no place special, no place exotic. So
74th is very special.
well, it's the Ansonia, so very special.
Very
yes.
special.
And since 1979. So
Wow. Wow.
anyway, it's my friend Judy, who you all know,
Nice. Welcome.
and thank you.
Hi, I'm Marnie. I'm coming from 74th Street too, but on the east side. I had to follow up with that. Shabbat
Welcome,
shalom.
Marnie. Shabbat shalom.
Hi, I'm Susan Shear, Gary and Charlotte Shear. We're from Morristown, New Jersey, but during the summer we're from Fire Island, and we're big fans of Basia and Shaul. Great to be here.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, anyone else would like to say hello? Right here. Huh? People are coming out of the woodwork.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and this is Max, and we're from Inwood. So,
Welcome.
Welcome.
That way.
Over there, I think. There was someone over there?
There's a bunch of people
Oh, that's
over here. Now there are a lot of people over here.
Hi, I'm Michael. I have dual citizenship. I am an Upper West Sider and a 20-year Fire Islander and congregant of our celebrities here. This is wonderful. Like I said, this is our first time here. Wow.
Wow, welcome. Oops.
Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm from Stamford, Connecticut. I just haven't been here in a while. I wasn't planning on coming. I was meeting my son for dinner down on 14th Street. He got stuck in traffic, couldn't make it, and it was 5:30, and I said, I'm going to jump on the train and go to Romemu. So here I am.
Nice, welcome back.
So he did me a bracha.
He's still stuck in traffic.
Hi, I'm Miriam, and this is Hollow and Mark. We're from West 95th Street, but in the summer, you'll find us at the Fire Island Synagogue.
Nice, your whole community came after you. This is
Bit
unbelievable.
of summer.
So who's coming to Fire Island this summer?
I am.
hi, I'm Jessica Sue. I've watched you guys during the pandemic, and I did the open book with you. And I was here when you were in this space, and this is my first time back, and you're back in this space. And I just got off a trip to finding my roots in Poland with Shauna here.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, we both just got back. Hi, I too have last been here in this space. I missed the whole other space. I've been in Oregon mostly, so it's so great to be back.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Is that it? Okay, I think we're going to skip 2 minutes. Yeah, okay. One more person.
Hi, My name is Eti. I'm from Israel, a newcomer. I
Hi,
came after my
Eti.
children.
ברוכה הבאה.
Thank you.
אחרון חביב.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Rudin. I have dual citizenship on the Upper West Side, and briefly I was in the land of slightly lost faith. But after seeing Rev Dylan today in A Complete Unknown, I thought if I could see Dylan as a complete unknown, I can see Basha as
Welcome back, Stephen.
as singing along the Oregon Trail. So I came back to Romemu and very happy to be here.
Okay.
So please rise, everybody, as we get ready for Barchu. Just take a moment just to look around the room and give someone a smile as we start the Barchu. Yatzevot Shema, Yatzevot Shema, Yatzevot Shema, Yatzevot Shema, Eila Chaya V'Kayamet, Tamid Timlacha Leinu Liolam Va'ed. So this ends the Kabbalat part of Shabbat, Appalachian Kabbalat Shabbat part. And now we're going to start with the Hanukkah part of Shabbat services. Shabbat, Hanukkah, and Shabbos and Hanukkah and Christmas have never been together for the last 20 years at the same exact time. This is 20 years. It only happens once every 20. Some people say once every 75, but I think it was really once every 20. And we're going to sing Ahavat Olam. Sorry. And we're going to sing Ahavat Olam to Mi Malel. So everybody turn to page 30.
I'm sorry, 36.
36.
Double.
It's double chai. That's true love.
It's true life.
True life and love. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amecha ahavta
יקום ויגאל. אהבתו לבית ישראל, עמך אהבת. אהבתו לבית ישראל, עמך אהבת. מה בימים ההם בזמן הזה, מכבי מושיע ומגן, בימינו כל עם ישראל, יתאחר יקום ויגאל, ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Take a deep breath. We find ourselves together at Shema on page 38. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'beitecha u'b'lechtecha b'derech u'b'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'isharecha. Silently on page 41 and 42. Love the well of life to serve it for your heart and soul, for rain upon the land, and season, autumn rain, spring rain. I'll put your grass in the yield of harvest and will be lost from the good land. Hearts and souls, bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them dangle between your eyes. Teach your children to be speaking to them when you sit at home and when you go on your journeys. God promised your ancestor as long as the days. Adonai Elohechem Emet. So just want to tell you a little story. Before I came back here, I had one of those insane colds. I don't know if anybody else had one that lasted a month and was stuck and lodged and didn't go anywhere. And you thought, like, there's no way that this is ever going to go away. So, and it was impossible to breathe. So I went to my doctor and he said, it's not pneumonia, but if you can get somewhere warm, it will be helpful. So I went online and I got a ticket to Puerto Rico. And because my son's passport was expired, so I had to go somewhere that I could actually get into, that was warm, that had ocean that I could swim into, because I thought, I know how, I'm bringing a little bit of Fire Island to us, a little of the ocean, a little of the summer, a little of the warmth, a little bit of the vibrations. And he said it could help, so I went. And usually I'm an adventurer. Usually I just go places and we adventure, but I just was still coughing and I could not stop coughing. So the adventure was not going to happen. So someone gave me a promo code from Chabad. And I found a hotel that I would never, ever, ever, like I wouldn't step into it because it's just not the way I usually travel.
It was like a 5-star hotel. And that's just, I don't think I've ever been into one. And I don't know what they look like. I don't know what they do. That's the, it's just a whole other thing. And it's not.
But you got used to it.
I got used to it. Surprisingly, strangely. But I kept feeling guilty the entire time that this was not like, I'm not taking advantage of all the culture and all the ways that I usually travel and really getting to feel like the people inside the communities. And so, but the very end, so I only did that for a few days. And the very end of that part of the trip, I was walking past one of those cabanas that cost like $400 just to sit on a very cozy cushion thing. And I stopped, and all of a sudden I look at the face of somebody, and I said, I know that face. And sure enough, it was my high school teacher sure enough, it was my high school teacher from when I was in high school. And actually, my high school was just 2 blocks from your high school. We might hear about your high school a little bit later. And in my high school, my math teacher was somebody who actually took me under her wings. I was going through a lot of struggles and stuff, and she took me under her wings, and she had horses. So I learned how to ride horses on Jamaica Bay Riding Academy, like on the ocean.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
Because Flatbush, it's not that far. Yeah. So we did that, and I saw her, and we had a little bit of a, like, she literally was kind of like a second parent to me. And we had a little bit of a falling out, like when I was in college, and I hadn't seen her, and I just felt bad, and I could not get over the feeling of feeling bad. It was something that I think happens to a lot of us when we get really close to people, is something of a falling out. And anybody here feels like they have had in their life someone that they were super close with and they had a falling out? Yeah. And you feel like there's no way that you can reconcile. There's nothing that can ever make you lose your narrative, lose your story, lose your anger, lose your frustration, lose your sense of betrayal and victimhood. But something happened right there. She invited me. She had to fill up $100 worth of things, so she kept buying me food. And that helped. But it wasn't that. It was the essence of her. The essence of her was such a memory, a deep-seated memory of connection that I had lost for so many years. And for what? It was so stupid. The thing was so stupid. And we look at those things, we know sometimes that those things are really not important. And so this is a parsha where Joseph had a falling out with his brothers for reasons that are so complicated. And the brothers are starting to come together. There's just the movement of coming together. And we're in a holiday of Hanukkah where we're coming through this really intense story of the Greeks, and they hurt us. And I've been thinking a lot about Jewish holidays and how there's so many people that we keep saying that they hurt us, and that's why we're celebrating, because we survived and we thrived. But I think there's a need sometimes for restorative justice in some of these holidays. And I think that we need to relook at that narrative and start to say, well, I have this whole narrative around, when I was a kid, if I had the same narrative as a kid, I would still be angry at the Greeks, And it was something that I held in my life, I was like, the Greeks, they were the evil ones, And I'm like, wait, we should go to diners on Hanukkah, and we should throw plates. There needs to be a little bit of restorative justice in all these holidays that we're experiencing. And not just this we're about to get into the liberation poetry of our tradition on Micha Mocha, and we're running away from being enslaved. We're running away from the enemy. But really, at the end of the day, how are we going to fall in from places we've fallen out? How are we going to restore justice from these places of pain, hurt, betrayal, and victimhood? And try to find, because there's nothing better than reconnecting with the essence of somebody that you've loved and that's loved you. And that is something that's healing, and that's true liberation. So we're going to sing Micha Mocha to the melody of Ma'os Tzor, and I want to hear it at the top of your lungs. Ma'os Tzor melody to Micha Mocha, and we're on page 48. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar We're under the canopy of peace on page 49. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'al Yerushalayim. Amen.
Almighty Barchu Yamlich Marchute Bechaye Chon V'Moichon Bechai Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agol B'Zman Kori V'Imru Amen.
Amen.
Shmei Rabbo Mevorach Li'olam Elol Me'ol Mayo Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitbar V'Yitramam V'Yitnasei V'Yitadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shemei Dekutshu B'Richu Li'elim Yitbol V'Rchata V'Shirata Tishbachata V'Nechamata Ta'amiran B'Yolma V'Yimru
Amen. Silent Amidah, or the words of your own heart, page 56, or the words of your own heart. Just sending some healing to those who are in need of healing. We're singing Ana Elna.
Ana elna, ana elna, ana elna, refana la, oh ana elna, ana elna, in this time of darkness, we send healing to those, mind, body, and spirit, and let us all say, Amen.
This sermon is dedicated to the memory of Arlene Agus, good friend of mine who died earlier this week. I will tell you more about her in a little while. Do you ever feel like you're facing the same issues in your life again and again? I mean, maybe the same pattern in relationships or in your work life. You wake up to a new day, but instead of facing a new adventure, you're weighed down by the same old burden. You might call it neurosis. You might call it a repetition compulsion, or you might call it karma. But whatever we call it, many of us are stuck in repetitive patterns, sometimes to the point where we feel imprisoned. This is something I experienced in one very specific area of my life, not the only area of my life, but it started when I was a child. Okay, this is not therapy, but it started when I was a child, and my father was always suspicious of me, like I was always doing something wrong. So eventually, by the time I went to high school, I started doing things that were wrong because he was always suspicious of me. It kind of was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I began to be really rebellious. Now, this was a girl going to yeshiva in Brooklyn, so don't get your hopes up, it wasn't that bad. Because, you know, girls were supposed to be innocent and obedient, but I did things like I cut school with my friends and I would get drunk. And I would go back to class and the teachers would not notice that I was drunk. And which was actually kind of really upsetting because I really didn't feel seen. My parents eventually found out that I was cutting school, and they weren't happy about it in the least. They never found out about the drunkenness. Or to take another random example, I would skip synagogue and meet a friend to eat an entirely unkosher meal in the local diner on Yom Kippur. Thank you. Oh, the horrors. Again, my crime was not discovered, but I carried the guilt with me, as well as the constant fear that I would be found out, so much so that the sense of guilt and fear followed me into adulthood. So for example, now, if I'm driving on the highway and I see a police car in pursuit of somebody, I decide it's me, even if I'm not speeding. Or if something goes wrong at home or at work, I immediately feel guilty, even though I had nothing to do with the thing. So one day, about a year ago, the dynamic was reversed. I was walking along Broadway late afternoon on my way home from work, and I saw an elderly woman with a walker. She was kind of unsteady on her feet, and she was wrestling with this big, heavy door trying to get into a bank. I came up from behind her and held the door open for her so she could enter more easily. And she proceeded to go inside, never looking back to see who was opening the door for her, which was fine. And it just sent me into sort of, you know, a kind of musing about when you do something nice for somebody and you're seen, and that feels really good. And sometimes you're not seen, and that's okay too, but it feels different. So suddenly, as I'm walking along thinking about this, my doorman comes up and really sticks his face into mine and says, "I seen what you did." Now, Rafi is a very tall guy. He's very sure of himself. He has a tremendous sense of moral authority. So as soon as I heard his words, the old fears came back. What did I do? Oh my God, what did he see? So he said, I see what you did for that lady when you thought no one was looking. Some people, he continued, only do nice things when people are looking, and some people do nice things even when they're not looking. So I wouldn't say I'm exactly healed in this area, but that incident did make a dent in the pattern, made me feel seen, known, understood, a radically different feeling than the old sense of fear and guilt. Okay, so wait, this is supposed to be a sermon, so let me talk a little bit about the Torah. I forgot. So we're back in the Joseph story and talk about neurotic patterns. In this parsha, Miketz, the patterns become really obvious. As you may recall from last week's episode, Joseph was his father's favorite, and he was a tattletale, bringing bad reports of his brothers to his father, who gives him a coat of many colors to show that he loves his son Joseph more than any of his brothers. A horribly painful family dynamic. And to make matters worse, Joseph shares his dreams with his brothers, dreams in which he's the center, at the total center, and they're bowing down to him. So they hate him, and they're increasingly jealous of him. And one day they plot against him, stripping him of his coat of many colors and throwing him into a pit. He's lifted out of the pit by Midianites who sell him to Ishmaelites, who sell him into slavery in Egypt. And he rises in power in Egypt, this time in the house of Potiphar, a wealthy Egyptian. Again, he becomes a favorite. God bless you. He is favored by everyone, even Potiphar's wife, who tries to seduce him. And even though Joseph resists, she accuses him of seducing her, and he is thrown into a prison, an echo of his brothers throwing him into a pit. In jail, the pattern repeats again. This time, he becomes the favorite of the prison warden, and again, everything is placed in his trust. But in jail, something different happens. He actually listens. He sees the people before him. There's a baker, not a butler, a baker and a cupbearer. And they tell him their dreams, and he interprets them. He says that the baker would be killed and the cupbearer would be restored to his position, and so it was. But here's the thing. At this point, Joseph's pattern is completely reversed. Pharaoh has a dream he can't interpret, and none of his advisors can interpret it either. So the cupbearer tells him about Joseph's expertise, and they lift Joseph out of prison, or Pharaoh's assistants or servants lift him out of prison, but the prison here is called a bore, a pit. So he's lifted, so to speak, almost out of the pit that he was originally thrown into. It's like a little moment where time collapses. They take him out of the pit, and instead of him, remember they stripped him and threw him into a pit. So this time they lift him out of a pit, and he's shaved and dressed to become presentable for the Pharaoh. And instead of being sent away by a father figure, he's brought to a father figure, to Pharaoh. And instead of, this is the last one, relaying his dreams, he listens to Pharaoh's dreams and he interprets them. And instead of acting clueless about his brother's feelings, acting as if they are invisible, here he is in service to the welfare of Pharaoh, Shlom Paro, as he calls it. But here's really the centerpiece, the kicker in terms of Joseph's story happening in reverse. He says to Pharaoh, when Pharaoh asks him to interpret his dreams, he says, "Not I. God will answer what is for Pharaoh's welfare. Bil adai Elohim ya'aneh et shlom paro." So this kid, who was at the center, or thought he was, of everyone's universe, is saying, it's not about me. This is the complete opposite of who he was. Early on, he was a tattletale, he was the favorite, he relayed his dreams, and it seemed like the most important thing to him was to be the center of everyone's world. But he finally understands it's not about him. It's not about being the favorite, it's not about being the best, it's not about being the most powerful. He understands that it's about being in service. He understands that it's about serving the welfare of others, being a vessel for the divine. His focus has shifted from himself outward. So in that way, and if you read on in the Torah, you see his karma is really not worked out at all. I mean, there's still a lot for him to do with his brothers. But he's worked out this peace, right? This peace of being completely self-centered and serving only himself. So what does it take to be released from our patterns? For me, what happened with Rafi that day was such a tikkun, such a repair. I was able to see someone in need to be in service, but to be seen in being service made a difference given my own patterns and history. I think each time we truly see somebody, it's like lighting up their soul, like lighting a Hanukkah candle at the darkest time of the year, during the darkest time of the month, when the moon is disappearing, so that each of us can become the light, the fire in the dark, illuminated and illuminating. To go back to the beginning, my friend Arlene Agus died suddenly earlier this week, probably of a heart attack, or maybe it was a stroke. She died alone. And she wasn't always fully seen in this world. She was a shining light in the Jewish feminist world, a pioneering woman who fought for a woman to be ordained. I stand her as a rabbi because of her. And she also reinvented the holiday of Rosh Chodesh, the holiday of the new moon, or the new month, for women, and women have been celebrating that, Jewish women all over the world, because of her. So I want to take this moment to recognize her. Her brilliant light was not always seen for what it was, but she was an illuminated star who contributed so much to the Jewish world and lit up my own personal darkness so often. She lavished love and attention on her friends. She was an endless gift of light. On this third day of Hanukkah, this Shabbat Mevarchim, the Shabbat that heralds the new moon with its promise of light and rebirth, in this terrible darkness of the world that we live in, let us really see each other. Let us recognize each other. Let us help each other break out of our karmic prisons, neurotic patterns, psychological constraints. Let us illuminate the darkness of our world by illuminating one another, each of us a shining flame, together a brilliant, healing, endless, divine fire. May Arlene's soul rise up to the heavens and become the pure, brilliant light that it always was.
Please rise.
V'hashevota,
v'hashevota,
el levavecha, ki Adonai, Hua Elohim, v'hashevota, el levavecha,
if you are saying Kaddish, if you are sitting Shiva or observing a Yortzeit, please remain standing. And if you're in Zoom and you'd like to put the name of the person in the chat, please do so. And I'll go around so people can say the name of the person that they're saying Kaddish for. Tony? Did I miss anybody? Okay. Kaddish is on page 116. If it's your custom to rise in support of the mourners, please stand. Vikadal, Vikadash, Me Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma devrach, Rutei, V'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon, V'yamechon, B'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, B'agala u'b'zman kariv, V'emru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'omei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei b'usha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiram b'yalma v'emru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'emru Amen. Oseh shalom v'mamav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'emru Amen.
Into this cup of blessings. The beautiful and incredible Dvar Torah of Rabbi Dayan Kohler Esses, and how much that illuminated, I think, so much for so many of us. I also want to put into this cup of blessing all the beautiful, beautiful musicians who elevated the musical experience for the evening. Judah Goldman, Gabby, what's your last name?
Fink.
Gabby Fink, Alex Fleming on cello, and Rich Stein on percussion, and of course my co-pilot on the Appalachian Trail, Rabbi Shaul Magid, for his incredible musicianship, and he's an incredible scholar too. So for those of you who don't know his work, look him up. He's just a beautiful, beautiful scholar, academic, and there's so much that you will learn if you read his books and if you just start to follow some of his teachings.
Chazam Basia Schechter. Thank you.
Thank you. And Craig, thank you so much for your incredible sound design for the evening. Eden Foster, for all the work that you do behind the scenes. It's just everything is actually, you make everything happen. And security, we had security.
Gil.
Gil on security.
Blanca. And who's on? Ann Claire. Thank you, Ann Claire. She already said, but thank you.
But why not again?
Again.
Of course. Of course. Take home there are more things on here. Take that home. Please rise for the Kaddish. Yom HaShishi, vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz, v'chol tzevan, vayechal Elohim vayom hashvi, melachto asher asa, vayishbot vayom hashvi, mikol melachto asher asa, vayivarech Elohim et yom hashavi, vayikach Kivo Shabbat v'kol melachto asher bara Elohim la'aso. Sabri chavirai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים בשבת קודשך ביאהבה ורצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. חיים.
Hanukkah linda está aqui, 8 candelas para mim. Hanukkah linda está aqui, 8 candelas para mim. Oi, 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 1 candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mim. Muchas fiestas do fazer, com alegria e prazer.
Con alegría y placer.
Oi, 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 1 candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mim. Los pastelicas vou comer, alegrías y la ver. Los pastelicas vou comer, con alegrías y la ver. 1 candelicas, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Yay, 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 da, da,
Ya da da dum da da da. Ya dum da dum da 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 da. Ya da 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 da.
candelicas, 2
Candelicas,
3
candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas,
6
candelicas,
7
candelicas, 8 candelas para mí.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, happy Hanukkah.